ignored a late March meltdown.
Big third period for the Minnesota Wild and knock off Calgary 4-2.
As the team teeters on playoffs edge, the expectation of a postseason push has reached a fever pitch. But standing before them is a Predators squad with their playoff plans already intact.
In front again, off the skate of Plaquette's great save made by Pekka Rinne.
More is needed. Even more is expected. After a season-long marathon, it's come down to a sprint. It's a must-win in Music City. Next on Sportsnet. Back-to-back losses and 2 wins in their last 7 games have the Calgary Flames outside the playoff picture, and they are not satisfied with that. The Flames will skate into Bridgestone Arena looking for the season sweep over the Nashville Predators and also look to get back into the playoff picture. They are currently 1 point behind the LA Kings for third in the Pacific, 2 points back at the Winnipeg Jets for the final wild card. The Jets are in action tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks, but basically with 7 games left in the season, you want to win in order to get in. And it will be the Flames and Predators for the third and final time this season. We head to Bridgestone Arena where we find Roger Millions. Roger, take us into this next 60 minutes.
Aaliyah, the man on the spot here this afternoon in Nashville is none other than Jonas Hiller. True, he hasn't played all that much in the last month and a half, but Harry Ramo was obviously starting to falter a little bit with the workload, playing 12 of 15, so Hiller, in maybe the team's most important game, gets the call. And speaking of calls, Bob Hartley usually doesn't call out his team at all, but yesterday he said he was concerned about a couple of things. Number one, puck management must be better this afternoon, and they have to stop making mistakes, unforced errors. He'll look for that. As far as the Predators are concerned, they'll look for the playoffs. They clinched that yesterday with a win in Washington, D.C., but today they'll be without their main man, Shea Weber. Maybe the best defenseman in the world will not play for a second straight game because of a mysterious lower body injury. And in net, Pekka Rinne will get a rest as well. It's his backup, Carter Hutton. So the Flames maybe have a couple of little bit of advantages as 2 points they need here this afternoon in Nashville. Leah?
All right, Roger, thank you very much. We welcome you into our Hockey Central studios for TELUS Flames Hockey here on Rogers Sportsnet. Neil Smith alongside Corey Hirsch. And boys, here we go. You just heard Roger mention it. This is a massive game for them. Perhaps the Flames getting a couple breaks with some lineup changes for the Nashville Predators. But Corey, they got to play. They got to win. What do they got to do? What's the key to getting that victory?
Well, one of the keys is you're wearing your red dress.
Well, you know, I try.
You're all in.
I am all in. You got it.
For me, the key is Bob Hartley, the coaching. He has to get Gaudreau away from their top line. Now, I coached with Ken Hitchcock. I didn't realize how important coaching was as a player, but I watched Ken Hitchcock do this. We went into Pittsburgh, and Crosby got wind that he was going to match him up against Arnott. Now, so he would send Arnott out for a little skate, and then Crosby would go out for a little skate, and then he'd fire back off the ice. Crosby ended up playing 2-3 minutes that first period. Anyways, my point being is that's the stuff that he's going to have to need, is going against Laviolette, who's a master matchup with his lines. He's going to have to find a way to get the Gaudreau line away from their top line.
Here's the key to the game. I'm going to tell you two guys right now.
We're ready for it, Neil.
It is bobblehead night in Nashville. Seth Jones bobblehead. And on bobblehead nights, the Nashville Predators are 4-1. So you got to watch out for that. But the key to the game for the Calgary Flames is going to be Jonas Hiller. He's got to come in, play really well for them. He's got to shut down the Nashville Predators. And the Calgary Flames have to take advantage of Carter Hutton. They don't have Pekka Rinne, the probable Vezina Trophy winner in the net, so they got to take advantage of that.
Just real quick, Jonas Hiller came in at the end of the Wild game the other night. Will that help him as well as he heads into Nashville?
You get a few minutes, you get back in there, get rolling a little, that'll help. But the Flames have actually caught a little break today, and Carter Hutton is a very good goalie. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he's not Pekka Rinne. And the Flames get to face Hutton tonight, which, if I'm a player, I'm all over that. I'm trying as hard as I can to get a goal tonight.
Well, the Flames are looking to avoid their third straight loss, and with a victory today, they will be back inside the Western Conference playoff picture. It is the best time of year. We head to Bridgestone Arena next for the Flames and Nashville Predators. Folks, enjoy this hockey game.
Welcome back to Nashville, Tennessee, the home of the Tennessee Titans of the NFL. You take a look at, but first of all, before we get to our game, a reminder to play Safeway's $1 Million Score and Win. If any Flames player scores 5 goals in this afternoon's game, then Donna Daniels of Calgary could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. Nashville Predators are home and cooled in the playoffs. Where will they wrap up? Will they wind up first overall in the Western Conference? That's yet to be found. As far as the Calgary Flames are concerned, looking for a win this afternoon to move a little bit closer to the postseason. We're set. First period action. Here's Rick Ball and Kelly Rudy.
Thank you, Roger. Let's check our starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. Karri Ramo was outstanding for 2 periods last game against Minnesota. Couldn't stop them all, so Jonas Hiller went into that game, and then today Jonas Hiller makes his first start in a while, just the 3rd for him in the last 17 games. He stopped 28-31 on a Halloween night win over Nashville in Calgary earlier this season. Carter Hutton, a rare start for him. Pekka Rinne with the day off after they clinched a playoff spot with a win yesterday. Hutton 2-0 all-time against Calgary. There's Johnny Gaudreau. Head-to-head battle with Philip Forsberg for the rookie scoring lead. Forsberg had 3 points against the Capitals to leapfrog Gaudreau 1 point up in the race for the top scoring rookie in the National Hockey League. Big game for the Calgary Flames. Critical 2 points on the line. Game 2 of this 5-game road trip as we get set to go. The top lineup for Calgary. It's Monahan against Gostad, and we're underway in Music City, USA, as Josi fires the puck in. Big weird bounce off the end boards, comes free to Gostad, kicks it back to the blue line, batted in the air and swatted into the corner, where Chris Russell goes back for the Flames. Up the boards for Gaudreau. Seth Jones pinches, puck comes free to Monahan, wheels out to center ice, leaves the puck for Yuri Hudler, cleared out to center ice by Gabriel Bourque, all the way back to the Calgary zone. As the Flames start a change, Chris Russell waits, and then backhands the puck over to TJ Brodie, who picks it up in the corner and settles down behind his own net. Brodie off the glass and out. Jones tips it ahead for Backlund just inside the line. Knocked down along the boards. Ekholm pressured. Flames double team on a big hit on the end boards on Forsberg, and a shot from the boards goes wide of the Nashville goal. Big early hit on Philip Forsberg by the Calgary Flames. Ekholm works the puck to the neutral zone and fires it in. Hiller stops it behind the net, gives the puck to Engel in the corner, and he'll play it up the boards and out to center ice. Pass by Raymond doesn't connect with Brodie. Predators quickly feed it ahead. Mike Ribeiro to the line, plays it across. Wilson with a shot, that goes off Brodie's leg wide. Puck to the other side, shot blocked into the corner. Played behind the net for Colin Wilson. Nobody out front. Wilson with control, waiting. Plays the puck to Ellis on the right side. His shot missed. All the way back to the other point. Volchenkov shoots. That goes off a body into the corner. Winds up in behind the goal. Controlled down low by Stahlberg. Watched by Brodie. Stahlberg trying to work it out front. Brodie checks him. Juris cleans up. And here goes Colborne to center ice. Joe Colborne chips and chases. After the puck, pumping Volchenkov on the end boards. Mike Fisher gets control for the Preds. Ryan Ellis spinorama away from Michael Ferland back in the lineup. Couple of changes on that 4th line for Calgary. Ferland and Drew Shore both in. Granlund was sick and missed practice yesterday, not playing, and Paul Byron comes out of the lineup today as well. Nashville clearing the zone, played back in. There's Drew Shore, but Stajan caught offside. And the whistle blows. Checking our keys to the game is always brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Kelly.
A reminder just for the Flames, inexperienced team, focus on the moment. Don't worry about what the other teams in the conference are doing. And for the Predators, get pucks deep. We've seen many examples of that already this afternoon. And I thought that was a key yesterday for the Predators. They raced out to that 3-0 lead. And they allowed the Capitals back into it in the second period with not getting pucks deep, neutral zone turnovers.
Stajan Shore Ferland out there on the face-off at center ice. Stajan wins the draw. Diaz plays it ahead. Shore tipped it in. Volchenkov goes back to it. Takes a bump from Stajan in the corner. Puck battle ensues. Volchenkov feeds it up the boards. Not out. Shot from the point. That goes just wide of the goal. Racing to it is Schlemko to keep it onside. Plays it down low. Shore hit. Ferland onto the puck. Michael Ferland cycles it behind the net for Shore. Watched by Volchenkov. Here's Ferland with a shot. Turned aside by Hutton. Ferland gets it back to the line. Diaz shoots, deflected wide of the goal, bounces out front. Ferland can't reach it, tap to the corner. Good pressure by the 4th line for Calgary. David Jones off the bench with a shot. That Gobbled up by Carter Hutton, who's able to hang on as he makes his first save of the game.
Great shift by the fourth line of the Flames. Just a great determined shift, not going to be denied. Ferland gets it, throws it back down low. Good battle with Shore, and then Stajan spots Ferland, and he gets a good chance right there. Carter Hutton makes his first save of the game. So good start by this fourth line, and that's what Bob Hartley would expect from that unit.
Gets some energy going. Top unit out for Calgary. Face-off win for Monahan. Puck back to Dennis Weidman, who walks the line. Now Gaudreau, hard pass, and that bounces off Gabriel Bourque all the way back to the Calgary zone. Chris Russell there for the Flames. Pressured by Beck. Russell makes a pass to Gaudreau, and he's able to clear it. Seth Jones will fire it back in. The 4th overall pick in 2013.
See a standout yesterday in the game. Skating ability just totally stands out.
Icing call on Calgary. 3.5 minutes into a scoreless first period.
Bob Hartley yesterday at practice also was talking about this young Flames team, and one of his job, because of that inexperience, is to get them to be more and more consistent. And I would say overall, Bob and his coaching staff have done a great job of that.
Really started last year, Kelly, in that great second half of the season, even though they were out of the playoffs. And that work ethic carried over to this season. A big part of the reason why they're right in the thick of it. Just below the playoff bar in what is turning out to be an amazing race in the Western Conference. Got a little help on the out-of-town scoreboard yesterday, too. Minnesota knocking off LA. Vancouver losing, although they pick up a point, and that's an icing call on the Nashville Predators.
So let's take a look at the Flames and what they have remaining in their schedule and how difficult it looks. 5 of these games are on the road, 2 at home versus Arizona and Los Angeles. And so you take a look at some of those games, and they're going to be pretty difficult. There's no question about it. And that's the same way for every Western Conference team. You look at even the playoff teams, or teams that are outside the playoffs, playing really well right now. Look at Dallas, any of those teams that you're going to be playing right now, they're just warriors.
At Colorado, they were on an amazing run and just weren't making up any ground.
Yep.
Scramble off the faceoff. David Jones busts through and works it behind the net. Backhand pass to the blue line. Derek Englund shoots, and that goes wide. I don't think Hutton saw it, but it missed the net. Brody pinches, puts it around the boards to the other side. Colin Wilson, checked by Englund. Roman Josi to the puck. Stallberg feeds it across, and out they come to center ice. Wilson with Fisher. Working it in over the line. Wilson to the corner. Turns away from Englund. Back up the boards. Flips it for Mike Fisher. Fisher pressured. Got the puck back. Michael Backlund takes it away in the corner. Makes a pass to TJ Brody. Circles the net and turns back the other way as Forsberg blew a tire. Backlund able to clear the zone. Boma with a big hit at center ice. Stepping into Ekholm. And Boma labors to the bench. He took the worst of that one, even though he was the hittee. Or the hitter, pardon me. Keep an eye on that. Meantime, play continues. Brody's pass deflected down the ice. Hutton out of the goal, leaves the puck for Ekholm. Mike Ribeiro. Long pass up the left wing, broken up at the blue line by Weidman. He winds up with control in his own zone. 5 minutes gone in the first. Shots 2-1 Calgary. As Weidman carries to the line, put it in. Colborne offside, has to peel back and tag up. That gives the Preds time to work the puck to the line, and Volchenkov feeds it through center ice. Backhanded into the Calgary end. Chris Russell races after it. Round the boards to Colborne, but it never got there. Now it gets to Colborne. Nice job to tip it off the wall. Juris finds Raymond, who wheels through center. Mason Raymond. Josh Juris goes to the goal. Shoots. Blocked away. Rebound. Put just wide of the goal. Great chance there on the rebound, but it trickled wide, and the puck's cleared. And this might be icing. It is, as the Flames come close to opening the scoring.
So lots of action here. Bridgestone Arena. Here's Lance Boma with the hit on Ekholm, and Lance Boma certainly takes the worst of that. Very slow in getting back up, and then the Flames get a really good scoring chance. Raymond throws the puck to the net. Hutton with the save goes right to the stick of Colborne and just barely misses the open side. It almost had a chance. It was so slow. The puck, the defenseman had a piece of it as well. The puck went so slowly.
Needed to throw the in-turn instead of the out-turn.
There you go.
There's Schlemko at the point. He shoots into traffic. Puck in the slot. Chopped off the stick of a defender wide of the goal. Again, the fourth line for the Flames with some good pressure. Schlemko fires it around. Diaz back at the other point. He shoots. Blocked in front of the goal, and fired out to center ice. Another icing call coming up against the Predators. So good pressure by Calgary. Back-to-back icings on Nashville.
This period brought to you by the bold new 2015 Toyota Camry. One bold choice leads to another.
Peter Laviolette's going to try and find a way to get his team engaged. Right now it's all the Flames and the Nashville Predators. Yes, they clinched that playoff spot. That might have something to do with it.
Face-off win for the Preds. Out they come. Arvidsson through center over the line. Shoots. Stopped by Hiller. Rebound. Winds up on the end boards. Played back to the line. Josi shoots. Scores! Roman Josi gets his 15th. And it's 1-0 Nashville.
The only good rush so far by the Predators. Here's Arvidsson with a good shot. Hiller can't control the rebound. The puck goes back to the point, and there's Josi stepping into that one. Not much traffic in front of Hiller, but Josi is an excellent offensive defense, and that's his 54th point of the season for Josi. So the Predators, after a slow start, jump out to a 1-0 lead.
.617 time of that goal for Josi. As the Preds dump it back in, Brody to the puck in the corner. Gave it away to Ribeiro. Got it back though as Brody works it towards the line. Pass deflects to center. Backlund chips it towards Brody. It's intercepted. And here comes Philip Forsberg down the wing. Knocked down along the boards on a good play by Derek Englund. Flames going after Forsberg early. Now Mike Ribeiro shoots wide of the goal. Lance Boma back on the ice. Good to see. Puck behind the net to Smith. Patience. Wires it up the boards to Seth Jones. Jones fires it across. Josi again. Switches spots with Jones. Josi on the backhand. In deep, played a pass into traffic out front. Forsberg couldn't corral the puck and the Flames break out. Down the wing is David Jones. Shot deflects up into Seth Jones' face. He's hurt. Up front. Chance for Diaz. Put it wide. Maybe off the glove of Hutton, who got a piece of that. Jones stays on the ice, still struggling. Mason Raymond back to the line. Schlemko shoots. That bounces across to Colborne. Diaz shoots. Hits something in front. It was Forsberg who blocked the shot. Diaz shoots again. That's deflected by Ribeiro wide of the goal. Flames push back after falling behind. Josi to the puck on the far side. Juris comes over. Preds get control. Ribeiro skates it out to safety and dumps it into the Calgary end. Joe Colborne now. Long pass to Diaz, tipped it ahead to Raymond. To fish it out of his own skates and flip it in. Flames make wholesale changes. Out come the Predators to center ice. Ekholm backhands it deep. Derek Englund up the boards. Through short, tipped it off the wall. Taken away by Stallberg. Mike Fisher now plays it down low. And they're going to say it came outside the line. It's an offside call on Nashville. 11:54 to go. First period, Preds up 1-0. Seth Jones took one on the chops. He's going to be okay.
Tell us if the Calgary Flames present the We Heart Flames contest. Show your love and post a picture of your Flame Spirit to Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag We Heart Flames during the broadcast for a chance to win big. There's some of the members of the Flames ice crew and security crew that have made all the way the trip to Nashville to take in this afternoon's game. Good on you. Good to see you.
Seth Jones okay at the bench after a puck went off his stick up into his face. Here's Ellis at center ice for the Preds dumping it in. Roman Josi with the only goal in this game so far. 1-0 Nashville. Wilson. Mike Fisher lost it. Kept onside. Flipped towards the goal. Blockered away by Jonas Hiller. Schlemko. Lost the battle for the puck. Wilson shot blocked. Deflected off a Flame all the way out to center ice. Colin Wilson hassled by Stajan. Drops it off in his own zone to Ryan Ellis. Ahead on the right side, back to Wilson. He'll work it in. Drop pass, Beck. On the wing, Beck shoots. Hiller makes the save, and he hangs on.
Roman Josi has the lone goal of this game, and how spectacular has he been for the Predators? Shea Weber, of course, holds the record for most points in a season by the Predators at 56, and now with that goal, Josi sneaks up within 2 points of that record. Interesting that when Ryan Suter left to go to Minnesota, that Josi was paired with Weber initially, and it didn't go well. In fact, Shea Weber told me they were awful together. Went away, and then they were put back together, and then it's been a magical pairing since.
And you'll see fourth in the league in ice time, too. 26 minutes, 26 seconds on average. Preds with a shot again in the traffic, blocked in front of the goal by Chris Russell, and the Flames clear the zone. Shea Weber missing his second straight game. We believe it's a lower body injury. The Preds, as you might expect, aren't saying much at this time of the year.
Kind of hearing that he might be rested for a while here.
Here's Boma working the puck into the backhand with a shot. Scores on the rebound. First shot blocked. Lance Boma got his own rebound off a leg and puts it home to tie the game at 1.
Here's that resiliency that we've talked about recently with the Calgary Flames. No matter what seems to happen, fall down in games and continue to mount comebacks. And this is just a really good hard shift by Lance Bowman. Not going to be denied. His first shot is blocked, and as he's falling down, he gets the backhand on it once more. That's the forehand. And wow, that is just a great effort by Lance Boma. And that's Philip Forsberg that had the puck, and he was able to strip him of it and take the puck to the net, get his own rebound, and bury it behind Carter Hutton.
5 minutes ago, he was crawling off the ice. Now he's scoring a goal. We're tied at 1 midway through the first.
Well, I kind of think he's probably pretty banged up considering the way that he's played all season
Puts
long.
it all on the line every night. Yep. Pass out front of the Calgary goal is blocked by Monahan. Again, we were joking earlier this season. I don't think Elias Sportsbureau keeps track of this stat. How many times have players crawled off the ice in the season? There's a shot that goes wide. But if they did, Lance Boma would have the lead.
And it's not because he's soft.
No. It's because he's fearless.
Yes, I want to just make that clear so somebody doesn't think.
That's not what we're saying at all. Yeah.
Nope.
Lyman over to Russell. Flames will change as the Preds get control in their own zone. Jones drops it off for Yoshi. Watched by Juris. Seth Jones. Roman Yoshi. Out of his own end. On the right side to Mike Santorelli with speed. Down the wing with a shot that goes wide. Puck in the corner. Santorelli gets it back in deep. Trying to throw it out front for Arvidsson. The pass was blocked. Joe Colborne able to work it to the boards and fires a nice pass over to Derek Englund. Englund down the wing. Get checked along the boards. The pump there from Volchenkov, who does that often. Santorelli checked by Raymond at center ice. Ellis plays it across. Here's Ribeiro into the zone. Drop pass. There's a shot wide. Puck ricochets around to Santorelli. Back to Mike Ribeiro. Works it all the way up the boards. Goes cross ice. Ryan Ellis shoots. Never got it through. Deflected by Arvidsson. Flames take the puck away. And Englund clears it off the boards and out. 11 minutes gone, first period. Jonas Hiller gives the puck to Chris Russell. Hoodler, highest scoring player in March in the NHL, flips it in. Gaudreau chases. Yoshi gets there first. Off the boards to Craig Smith. Out the center ice to Philip Forsberg. So the two rookies head-to-head on this shift. Here's Smith turning on the boards. Back to the line. Yoshi shoots, and that's blocked. Puck comes across to Hoodler. Off the boards, out to center ice. Yoshi. Back to Seth Jones, up to Mike Ribeiro. Ribeiro. Jones shoots. Hiller save. Rebounds there. Off a leg into the corner. Ribeiro gets it back. Drops it off for Jones. Jones throws it out front. That deflected. Hiller had to drag that right leg to make a save. Ribeiro left the puck behind. Gets it back. Pass deflected by Drew Shore. Ferland coughed it up to Forsberg. Ribeiro almost out of gas. Staging gets there first. Around the boards to Chris Russell. A hit from Forsberg. Got the puck up the wall, and Ferland takes control at center ice. Michael Ferland dumps the puck in and heads to the bench of the change.
Some heavy hitting now. This battle's increasing.
Wilson at center ice, lost the puck. Flames take it away. Here's Backlund. Makes a nice move. Fires it in. Jones and Boma on the forecheck. Hutton out of the goal. Lifts the puck around the boards. Schlemko pinches. Gets past him. Fisher with a long pass. Here's Wilson. Wilson turns in the circle. Left the puck behind. Now he's knocked down by Diaz, and the two 33s come together. Puck played back to the line to Cody Franson. In deep for Fisher. Side of the goal for Stallberg. Now Mike Fisher in deep. Puck comes off a stick. Picked up by Wilson. Back Back to the blue line to Franson. Plays it across to Ekholm. He'll try a shot that's blocked by Diaz, and Rafa Diaz clears the zone. Hits somebody at the Calgary bench. And we get a whistle. 6:59 left, first period, a 1-1 game. The Flames and the Preds. It is physical in Nashville on Sportsnet.
Bowman already having a major impact in this game. Here's that hit on Ekholm. Bowman gets the worst of it, and then shortly thereafter, he's going to go hard to the net, get the backhand, and then get the rebound on the forehand, and he gets his first goal of the game.
And that goal means we have a winner by shopping at Safeway. Bruce Morrison of Calgary has won a Hoover Air Cordless Vacuum courtesy of Safeway and Kellogg's Cereal. And that goal by Bowman tied this game at 1. That's where we stand. 6:59 left in the first period.
I'd say pretty evenly played, right?
It has been. It's been a good first period, too. Lots of energy, some physical play as the Preds win the draw. Ekholm shoots from the point. That deflects on goal. Hiller turns it aside. Puck played to the line. Kept onside by Franson. Fires it around. Ekholm plays the puck into the corner. Forsberg couldn't settle it down. Smith does. Back up the boards. All the way back to the line where Ribeiro got the puck. Smith to Philip Forsberg. Turns. Chops it deep. Smith bumped by Backlund. Good work by Craig Smith, and then Backlund able to take it away, and the Flames break out. 4 of them to center. Now Jones peels off. Here's Boma over the line. Drop pass. Brody shot. Hutton makes the save, and he hangs on.
TJ Brody joins us.
This is the Sports Select Legends statistician. He knows the numbers, and the numbers start with a $sign.
Get your game on with Sports Select.
TJ Brody joined the rush nicely on this play. Lance Bowman is waiting, get a little bit deeper, and allow TJ Brody a better shooting angle. And Hutton with a pretty good save.
Fisher with a face-off win. Raymond trying to keep the play alive. Gets some help from Joe Colborne, who does. Josh Juris bumped by Bolchenkov, but Juris stays on the puck. Turning in the corner. Behind the net now. Knocked off a stick to the other side. Colin Wilson. Hassled by Juris. Wilson able to get it out with some good work. Dumps it in, but wrong side of center. Icing the call on the Predators. 5:53 left in the first period.
It's not an easy game for Carter Hutton. Afternoon makes it difficult anyways, but his last action was March 3rd versus New Jersey, and he's only played in 3 of the last 24 games. That's not the kind of rhythm that is easy for a goaltender.
But a situation where Pekka Rinne has been so...
That's right.
Seen so much work. Chance to give him some rest after they clinch a playoff spot. Puck played through the crease by Monahan and out the other side. Gaudreau back to Russell. Makes a move. Russell passes, and it's deflected. Never got through. Knocked away from Monahan. Here's Weidman. Shoots, and that's a pad save by Hutton as that whistled through traffic. And now the puck goes off a stick and out of play.
Chris Russell has such a knack of knowing who's coming out at him, and if there's an opportunity in which he can make a play, and there he goes. That is just an absolutely beautiful play to get around Stallberg. Puck ends up coming back to Weidman, and this is what the Flames do really well. Just nice funneling the puck to the net.
5:32 left, first period. It's a 1-1 game. Calgary and Nashville. Telus Flames hockey on Sportsnet.
Hockey today with the Hawks in Winnipeg to take on the Jets, and Ron McLean standing by, and Lethbridge, Alberta coverage begins tonight, 5 p.m. Mountain on City.
Thank you, Roger. Flames control the puck off the face-off. Weidman shoots, and that's gloved by Hutton. May have been going wide, but he elects to hang on.
Still good play, throw pucks to the net. This is what the Flames, especially Dennis Weidman, has a great knack getting pucks through. And this one, Monahan and his line mates weren't able to get in front of Carter Hutton, so he holds it for a face-off.
Face-off win by Gaustad, one of the best in the NHL. In fact, he had a game earlier this month, Kelly, where he went 13-0 against Buffalo.
Was he ever spectacular yesterday afternoon versus the Washington Capitals, especially late in the game? He and his line mates were out often.
Roman Josi, Gabriel Bourque. This is Beck at center ice. And here goes Yuri Hudler the other way. Chips it in. Gaustad goes back to it. Seth Jones up the boards, past Russell and out. Matt Stage in there for Calgary. Drops it off to Weidman. Long pass to Drew Shore, working it in. Shore trying to get it out front. Forced to the boards. Now he shoots. That goes off a stick. Loose in the circle. Puck comes back to the wall. Shore gets it again. Hard pass to Diaz. Diaz shoots, and that's blocked. And a loose puck is corralled by Santorelli, who chips it in. Good block on that play by Victor Arvidsson. Flames fired around the boards. Franson knocks down Ferland. Shore makes a pass to the slot to Diaz, and he'll clear the zone. Played back in. Rafa Diaz over to Schlunko. Leaves the puck for Joe Colborne. Colborne down the wing. Colborne, pocket picked. Forsberg ties up Colborne. Juris comes in support, but Mike Ribeiro winds up with a puck. Ekholm gains center ice and dumps the puck in. TJ Brodie goes to it. Hit by Philip Forsberg. Juris comes in. Battling with Forsberg at the side of the goal. Mike Ribeiro along the boards. Backhand pass to the line. Volchenkov shoots. That's deflected into the corner. Colborne gets the puck on the boards. Chips it to the blue line and out. Ryan Ellis settles it down. 3.5 to go in the first. In a 1-1 game, Yossi and Lance Boma the goal scorers in this one. Derek Englund. Joe Colborne at the end of his shift. Tried to tip it in. Couldn't. It was blocked by Volchenkov. Now Brodie turns away from pressure and finds some open ice. Here goes TJ Brodie through center with speed. Brodie over the line. Stick chopped out of his hands. Play continues as Brodie goes to the bench. Englund off the wall to Boma. Checked at the blue line by Seth Jones. Boma gets the puck back though. Watched by Fisher. Threw it out front and off a skate. Back to Weidman. Shoots, and that hit traffic in front of the goal. Stallberg to the rebound. And it bounces outside the zone, but they're going to roll his knockdown with a high stick, and the whistle blows with 2:51 to go in the first period.
This period brought to you by the bold new 2015 Toyota Camry. One bold choice leads to another.
TJ Brodie with a great rush up the ice, and he's looking for a penalty right here. He gets his stick chopped out of his hands, and he pled his case to the official, albeit briefly, and officials were having none of that. It looked a little bit worse in live action to me. I thought that there was more of a slash. Well, on that replay, it didn't look as bad as I thought when I first saw it.
But if he'd broken the stick,
Yes.
I mean, it was hard to tell if it was broken or not, but he might have had a case. Neither team's taking a penalty yet as Monahan fires the puck in. Hoodler plays it out front for Monahan. Tipped back to the line, out of the reach of Russell. He has to regroup at center. Dennis Weidman. Chris Russell. Here goes Gaudreau. Gaudreau into the zone. Gets the puck to Russell. He shot it wide. Great chance there for Chris Russell. Walks in but missed the net. Here's Sean Monahan. Feeds it across to Russell. Russell shoots. Scores! Chris Russell makes it 2-1 Calgary.
What a spectacular pair these two are together, reading off each other. Weidman gives it to Russell. He heads up ice and gives it to Gaudreau and continues through. Gets the first good chance, then he finds his way back to the point. And then with traffic, Russell just sneaks in right here, throws it to the front, and there is the deflection. What we've talked about a number of times already in this first period. Just get pucks to the net, find bodies in front of Hutton, and the Flames go up 2-1.
So it is Chris Russell's goal, his 4th of the season. And as you mentioned, Kelly, Flames up. First time tonight after falling behind. With just over 2 minutes to go and an entertaining first period of play here in Nashville. Predators with the puck, work it ahead. Tipped in by Mike Ribeiro. Brodie back, picks it up. Pressured by Craig Smith. Brodie turns away from Smith, plays the puck to Derek Englund. Long pass deflected in. And now they're changing that goal, so West tipped out front by Hoodler. Good eye, Kelly. They gave the goal to Yuri Hoodler, Russell, and Monahan with the assists. TJ Brodie battles along the boards with Mike Ribeiro. Puck comes to the blue line. Ferland can't get it out. Following up is Stajan, who clears the zone to center ice. Ellis speeds it across to Volchenkov. Wires it in and around. Ribeiro still out there. Back to Ellis. Quick shot. That goes wide. Hill may have got a piece of it. Ferland at center ice. End of a shift, slides it in. Anton Volchenkov. Final minute of play in the first. Over to Ryan Ellis, off the boards for Arvidsson, and they go offside at the Calgary blue line. Another winner with that Calgary goal. Stephen Bibby of Airdrie shopped at Safeway on behalf of Safeway and Kellogg's Cereal. Stephen, you've won the Lagostina 10-piece cookware set.
I was pretty certain the puck hit something along the way. I was unsure it was redirected by a Flames player. I think it's Paul Gostad, though. Yes, it is. The centerman for the Nashville Predators. It was the reaction of Hutton that really clued me in that that was not a clean shot from the point that beat him.
Well, and that replay suggests that maybe it is Chris Russell's goal, because I'm not sure Hitler got a piece of that at all, so that could be changed back.
Yep.
Meantime, the Flames work it out. Johnny Gaudreau at center ice, forced to drop it off. Russell controls, and here's Gaudreau. Gaudreau dancing in over the blue line. Gaudreau down the wing with a shot, and it's turned aside by Hutton. Good rush by Gaudreau. Here's Russell. Rolling puck. Keeps it onside. Gaudreau swats it down low for Yuri Hudler. He's pushed to the boards. Colin Wilson onto it. Battling with Monahan. Monahan and Wilson battle for the puck, and Gaudreau comes away with it. Drop pass to Weidman. Weidman. Monahan. Hudler's out front. Deflection on goal. Hutton down, and he's able to cover up in the crease with 9.9 seconds to go in the period.
Great follow-up rush by the Monahan line. It's all Johnny Gaudreau. He's absolutely great so far today. Dancing around the Predators, gets a really good chance right there on Hutton, and then backhand pass to Dennis Weidman. Throw it into the corner for Monahan and converge to the front of the net. Flames do, and Hutton keeps this a 2-1 game.
Scramble draw. Flames get the puck. Raymond on the boards. Played it to the corner, but Colborne had to retrieve his stick. Gives Josi time to get back to it as the clock ticks down, and a good first period for the Calgary Flames comes to an end. They fall behind on a goal by Roman Josi, but Boma and Russell answer 2-1 Calgary through 20 minutes of play. Back to the studio with Neil Smith and Corey Hirsch. Here's Leah Hextall.
The Cumberland River in Nashville, Tennessee, and downtown Nashville on this Sunday afternoon. Flames enjoying a 2-1 advantage after 20 minutes of play. It's time now for another edition of our Calgary Sun Rookie Reporter. This afternoon, Jacob Filowich interviews Lance Boma.
Hi, my name is Jacob Filowich, today's Calgary Sun Rookie Reporter, here with Lance Boma. What is your favorite warm-up drill before a game?
Before the game, probably the horseshoe. I like doing that.
Who are your favorite and least favorite teams to play against?
It's always fun playing against a team like Edmonton or Vancouver, a team that we got a rivalry against. And the least favorite team to play against is probably one of the bigger teams in the league.
How do you manage your nerves before a game?
I don't really think about it anymore. Obviously, you just try to just focus on what you got to do out there and just not worry about it.
Where is your favorite place to go on vacation?
Mexico.
What is the best and worst thing about living with Sean Monahan?
That's a good one. The best thing is we get along pretty good, and we both kind of like the same things, so it's easy that way. And the worst thing, he can't cook.
This has been Jacob Filowich reporting live from the Scotiabank Saddle Dome as today's Calgary Sun Rookie Reporter.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you, Jacob and Lance. Well, this is the child of Mike Fisher and Carrie Underwood. As Carrie tweeted on the weekend here, the Predators are in the playoffs, just waiting to get called up. Youngster Isaiah enjoying life. Isn't that sweet? Nice looking shot. And speaking of nice looking shot, in the crowd this afternoon, as always, a huge fan of the Predators is Vince Gill, one of the great singers of our time. He's getting set for the second period, and so are we. Here's Rick and Kelly.
Well, it is Music City, USA.
Yes.
Thank you, Roger.
One of my favorite all-time singers, Vince Gill.
Amazingly talented. Bob Seger was in town last night.
Concert last night, huh?
We had the pleasure of going. It was outstanding.
My friend Alto Reed, the sax player from the Silver Bullet Band, set us up pretty good last night, I'd say, Rick.
That was a fun
Agreed.
night.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, they get it done. I mean, Bob Seger, what is he, 70 years old now?
Something like
He
that.
put the amount
Amazing
of energy. Wow, it was great. Just a great show. And a great city.
I think we've worked too long together now. We said the same words and sentences together.
I know. You've got to spend some time apart. Good first period for the Calgary Flames. By the way, they have changed that goal. It is Chris Russell's and not Yuri Hudler's as was originally announced. So Russell with the second Calgary goal at the 17:46 mark, his fourth of the year for number 4, and the Flames lead 2-1. Second period is underway. Dennis Wideman back to the puck in his own zone. Lead pass. Johnny Gaudreau, nice shot to take that. Feeds it in for Hudler, just out of his reach. Roman Josi wheeling through center, feeds it in the right side. Shot off the wing, turned away by Hiller. Bostad onto the rebound. Drops it off behind the net for Taylor Beck. Waiting for someone to go out front. Plays it to Josi instead along the boards. Back behind the net to Beck. Works it out himself with a pass that's blocked. Second chance to flex across to Hudler, and he clears the zone to center ice. Seth Jones on Seth Jones' bobblehead night. Bridgestone Arena. They're going to put a couple of stitches maybe on the bobbleheads after he took a puck in the mouth in the first period. Now they work it in. The Flames take it away. Dennis Wideman over to Chris Russell. Long pass. Tipped in by Jones. David Jones, that is, as he heads in the forecheck. But Matthias Ekholm beat him to the puck, and Mike Ribeiro feed to the head. Coughed it up with the line as Jones kept it onside. Lance Boma battling along the boards with Ekholm. Backlund comes in support. Ribeiro takes the puck away. Ekholm feeds it over. Out of the reach of Josi. David Jones back in on the attack. Throws a hit in the corner. Philip Forsberg tied up. Makes a pass out front of the goal. It's tipped ahead to Ribeiro, and out they come to center ice. Forsberg will chip it in. Trying to get around Derek Englund. Bumping Forsberg on the end boards. TJ Brody winds up with control, and the Flames defenseman fires it out the center. Right onto the stick of Mason Raymond, who works it in. Raymond turning on the boards, waiting for support. Finds it. Off the bench, there's a shot by Juris. That goes wide of the goal. Juris after the loose puck in the corner. Diaz pinching from the point, bumping with Wilson. Raymond keeps the play onside. Juris behind the net. Feeds it out front. Nobody home as it went through the slot. Intercepted by the Preds, and Wilson back the other way for Nashville. Trying to get around Schlemko. Wilson turns on the boards. Bumped by Schlemko. Juris onto the loose puck. He'll skate it out himself. Josh Juris. Joe Colborne. Lost it at the line. That rush broke it up. As Schlemko goes back. Juris. Joe Colborne. Juris down low. Tied up by Ryan Ellis. Ferland comes in to help out. Plays the puck up the boards. Chris Russell, back for Michael Ferland. Battling with Volchenkov. Russell plays it across. Fed back towards the blue line, and it goes off a stick. Over the glass, not a play.
To make a play, sometimes you have to take a hit, and Dennis Wideman, far right of the picture, is going to get hit here by Bork, but with an absolutely amazing pickup by Johnny Gaudreau. Very few people can get this pass that Gaudreau did. He was on his forehand, recognized the puck was coming to his backhand, and just spun around ever so slightly and picked it up perfectly. Never amazed by some of the things you see by some of these guys. You just don't think they can do it, but you see it so often that it's phenomenal.
They make it look so easy. Sometimes it's hard to appreciate how difficult what they do actually is. It's so effortless sometimes. Mike Santorelli played it across, and the Preds able to clear the zone. 3 minutes gone in the second. TJ Brody pressured back in his own zone. Turns away from Arvidsson, plays it across to Englund, and he'll feed it ahead where it's tipped into the Nashville end. Cody Franson. Ekholm now blasts it in. Brody to it in the corner. Derek Englund up the boards. Back, or make that Gaudreau able to clear the zone off the center ice. Predators control deep in their own end. It's Seth Jones with the puck over to Roman Josi. Who has the Nashville goal in this game. Mike Santorelli wheels in. Forced wide by Gaudreau. Puck played around. Russell to it. Tips the puck to the line. Can't get it out. Hudler winds up with control though. Back to Russell. Ahead to Gaudreau in his skates. Puck slides outside the zone. Nashville has to tag up, so Jones drops it off to his partner Roman Josi. Back to Seth Jones. Now Josi out of his own end with speed. Long pass up the right wing. Here's Gostad working in. Gostad shoots, blocked. Loose puck poked wide by Ribeiro. Josi still in deep. Russell takes it away. And Chris Russell, with time and space, fires a long pass up the right wing for David Jones. He couldn't get it. Boma does. Or make that Backlund circling back. Finds Russell. Works it in. Chris Russell in deep. Threw it out front. Cut off by Hutton. Lost the puck for a second. Still loose. Now he covers up at the side of the crease for a whistle.
Calgary's known for the Flames and the Rockies. Let's take a look at what's happening at the Rockies' best resorts.
Chris Russell is taking over this game. Pretty evident that he wasn't happy, nor were his teammates, with the loss in Minnesota, but this is a huge game, and by the experience that Russell has in this league, he recognizes time is of the essence, and they need a spectacular game here this afternoon in Nashville.
By the way, closing in on the record, NHL record for blocks in a season. Russell came into the game with 262. The record's held by Anton Volchenkov when he played for Ottawa.
Yep.
And 273 blocks. So we'll keep an eye on that tally as the Predators work the puck into the zone. It goes off a stick, off the glass, and out of play.
It's pretty much just a matter of time that Chris Russell gets that record. There's no question. And here he is moving up the leaderboard at 263, only 10 blocks behind Volchenkov. And I know there are some people in the analytics world that don't find that stat too appealing. All I know is any of those guys on that leaderboard that I just saw, I'd have on my team any day.
Well, and I understand the point that sometimes it's not a good stat. It means you don't have the puck. But Russell also has 31 points. He came into the game a plus 11 on the season. So there's a shot from a sharp angle that's smothered by Jonas Hiller. So those numbers would suggest, when you add them onto the block shots, that he's having an outstanding year.
One of the things Nashville hasn't done enough of, in my opinion, this afternoon, just throwing pucks at the net, hoping for a harmless deflection, similar to what happened on the Russell goal off Gostad. So I think that was one of their better shifts. Craig Smith has been really good, I found, so far in this period, or this game. Great energy, and they're going to need to continue. I think Ribeiro's been fairly quiet so far.
Shot never got through. Colin Wilson battles for a loose puck, but it slides over to Yuri Hudler, and Hudler able to work the puck out, chops it ahead, loose at the line, and it's corralled by Johnny Gaudreau with a bit of room. Gaudreau cuts to the slot. Gaudreau shoots. The puck get wide. Wilson in the corner, watched by Monahan. Puck played up the board. Stallbluch steps into Gaudreau. Wilson gets it back, feeds it across for Fisher, and now Jones will settle it down as the Flames start a change. Roman Josi to center ice. Josi around Josh Juris, but one too many moves offside on Nashville.
Can really feel that Johnny Gaudreau really loves this challenge with Forsberg. Here he's going to dangle inside the Predator zone. Goes into the inside looking for a better angle, but Mike Fisher with a better block. Fisher with that experience, recognizing how dangerous Gaudreau could be if he goes to the middle of the ice. And so an important block by Mike Fisher. Some of these Nashville Predators got to drag their buddies into the battle because it's been a little bit more of an energetic Flames team than the Predators.
Forsberg flips the puck back into his own zone. Volchenkov goes to it. Over to Ellis, lead pass to Ribeiro. Mike Ribeiro. Softly across to Forsberg down the wing. Englund forces him behind the net. Forsberg checked. Derek Englund with the loose puck clears the zone. 6 minutes into the second period, still 2-1 Calgary. Second game of this critical 5-game road trip. Flames will be in Dallas tomorrow. Brody, long pass on to Raymond. Raymond works it over the line. Drop pass. Here's Colborne. Colborne throws it across to Brody. Brody down low. Looking out front. There's a shot. And Hutton makes the save off Raymond. Colborne gets the rebound. Flames buzzing now. Thrown back out front. Juris couldn't get a stick on it. Knocked away by Ellis. Diaz pinches, but it's played past him and out to center ice. Joe Colborne slides it back in. Ferland works it down low. Off the side of the goal. Puck bounces to Matt Stajan. Stajan turning along the end boards. Ferland down there as well. Stajan pinned by Ellis. Still battling for the loose puck. Drew Shore comes into help. Shore works it up the wall, then drops it off in the corner for Stajan. through Shore. Ferland out front, there's the pass, scores! Michael Ferland gets his first NHL goal, and it's 3-1 Calgary.
Matt Stajan just sets the tempo on this shift with the two youngsters, and it was just all battle behind the Nashville net. Matt Stajan is not going to be denied. Continue to fight hard for this puck, and gets it back. Shore throws it back down low, and then Stajan's going to spot Ferland. It's just an excellent play right here. Now out of the corner comes Shore, tape to tape, but that was just a absolutely great shift again. We saw a number of those great shifts by that fourth line in the first period.
Maybe some poetic justice that Ferland scores against Volchenkov on that shift. Because Volchenkov, you may recall, early this season, threw an elbow and knocked out Michael Ferland. We'll take a look at that maybe a bit later. Right now, we can tell you with 12:53 left in the second. Flames 3 and the Predators 1. Night, Kelly, when Anton Volchenkov knocked out literally Michael Ferland with that elbow.
And he was suspended for 4 games because of that hit. And isn't it justice? You mentioned it. That is Volchenkov. That's his man. He loses his check, and Ferland buries it for a 3-1 lead here in Nashville.
Means we have another winner. Irene Jennings of Calgary entered Score and Win and has won a Bradley 4-burner stainless grill courtesy of Safeway and Kellogg's cereal. Michael Ferland's first NHL goal. You know, the last few games that he's played, we felt that it was coming. Yeah. Because he's been getting chances.
No question about it. Cool to see the communication right there after the goal with Matt Stajan and Ferland on the bench.
Well, the Flames lead by 2 as Francie goes back to the puck, takes a bump, fed it up the boards, Anglin pinching. Colin Wilson got it away, and he'll play it down the ice. Good speed there by Arvidsson to take off the icing call. Arvidsson knocked down by TJ Brodie, who comes away with a loose puck. Brodie's pass deflected. Lines up on the stick of David Jones anyway. 3 Flames over the line. Boma tried to shoot. He was checked by Colin Wilson, who lines up with control, circles his own net, and feeds it ahead to Mike Fisher at center. Hard around by Fisher. Arvidsson missed the puck. It comes through to Raymond. Mason Raymond chips it out. Josh Juris gets control. Tries a weak shot. Hutton tips that aside. Colborne onto it. Hit by Fisher behind the net. Juris took a bump from Ellis. Stays on the puck. Mason Raymond gets control in the corner. Raymond throws it up front. Juris shoots. That's blocked. Forsberg there to try and clear. Can't get it out. Flames keep the play alive. Well, they kept it in again. Flames have had an edge here in the second period. Outworking Nashville. Mason Raymond. Flip pass to the line to Russell. Good job to keep it onside. Fires it deep to Colborne. Monahan's up front. Wrap around Colborne. Stopped by Hutton. Philip Forsberg overskated the puck. Colborne stays on it. Gets some help from Monahan. Sean Monahan behind the net. Got it out front. Shot wide by Raymond. They've gone off a stick. Around to Weidman. Weidman works it across, then feeds it on the right wing boards to Monahan. Up front for Weidman, just out of his reach. Weidman gets it back. Turns along the boards. Pass deflects. There's a shot by Hoodrup. Off a stick wide of the goal. All Calgary right now. Monahan out front to Gaudreau, and he fanned the shot. As he blew a tire and went into the goaltender Hutton. The puck's finally cleared down the ice by the Predators. And it's an icing call on Nashville. Flames buzzing for that 4th goal.
Pretty common theme in this second period for the Flames. It's outwork the opposition. Here's Brodie in the corner with Arvidsson, and that's just a strength drill right there for TJ Brodie, and he wins it, comes up with the puck, and then Colborne from behind the net, going to circle out in front, wrap around, good play by Hutton, and then lastly, Gaudreau just can't find the handle on that one, but this is a really good second period so far by the Calgary Flames.
Peter Laviolette uses his timeout after an icing call and a great shift by Calgary. Flames now out shooting Nashville 14-12, up 3-1, approaching the midway mark of the second period.
Pretty smart play by Laviolette, there's no question. Everybody in the building can feel it. The momentum has shifted to the Calgary Flames, and right now, look at Brian Burke, Jordan Sigalet, Mike Burke.
Assistant GM Mike Burke, Jordan Sigalet, the goaltending coach for the Flames.
David Poyle doing such a great job here in Nashville. Well, it's good to see him back too. He had that eye injury last year just prior to Sochi Olympics. How about the job that Laviolette has done here? They clinched a playoff spot yesterday, but his troops aren't ready today, so he's got to find a way to get them more engaged, more so from a work ethic standpoint than anything, because this is a skilled team. Nobody's going to deny that. But
Predators came into the game today, Kelly, on a 4-game winning streak, but they've lost 9 of their previous 11. So
they were reeling.
Tough when you've been in front for that long to manufacture urgency, and I think they fell into that a little bit, trying to get their game going. They are in the playoffs, and the first team in the West to clinch a playoff spot. But it's been Calgary with the edge so far in this game, and a 2-goal lead. A pass to Gaudreau didn't connect, and this will be an icing call on the Flames. Now they're going to wave it off. Yossi goes back. Seth Jones brings it out to center ice. He heads in the forecheck, bumping Weidman on the end boards. Weidman, good job to keep body position. And now he winds up with the puck again. Bank pass to Boma. Yossi gave it away to Backlund. Lance Boma, who has a goal today. Works it down low, cut off by Philip Forsberg. Flames stay on the puck, jammed on goal. Nice stop by Hutton on David Jones. Here's Backlund again. Flames buzzing again. Backlund behind the net, trying to work it out front. Michael Backlund. David Jones had it hop off his stick, and it comes free to Mike Ribeiro. Out to center ice. Ribeiro over the line. Mike Ribeiro. Here's the pass. Pad save. Rebound. Santorelli can't pull the trigger. Ribeiro gets it back. Santorelli put it wide. Ribeiro lost the puck. Comes free. Ekholm plays it deep again. Winds up behind the net. Ribeiro. Stahlberg's out front. Pass didn't get there. Brody with a good stick broken up. And here's a chance for a 3-on-1. TJ Brody leads the way. In pursuit was Lance Boma, but the drop pass intercepted on good hustle by Calle Jarnkrok to come back and break up that opportunity. Now they work it in again. Santorelli turning. Plays it behind the net. Victor Stahlberg. Watched by Stajan. Stahlberg got it out front. Santorelli shoots. Deflects on goal. And it's stopped by Jonas Hiller. Stahlberg again. All the way back to the line. Fires it to the near boards. Puck control by Santorelli. Santorelli. Backhand pass. Jarnkrok tied up. Stays on the puck though. Santorelli skates it back to the blue line. Wires it deep again. There's a shot that hit a body. Derek Engelland gets the loose puck and shovels it down the ice. Yuri Hudler after it. Hudler right in. Scores! Another one finds its way between the pads of Carter Hutton, and Yuri Hudler makes it 4-1 Calgary.
The Predators, with first, really the only good pressure they've had in the second period with the Jarnkrok line. And England, in an attempt just to clear the puck and alleviate some of the pressure, throws it around the boards. And Hudler sneaks in behind Ekholm. And what a turn of events when Nashville had the pressure on. And England just tries to throw it outside the zone. Hudler reads it. Ekholm can't keep the puck in, and it's 4-1 for the Calgary Flames.
Yuri Hudler picks up his 29th goal of the season. Engelland gets the only assist. Flames lead by 3 with 8:07 to go in the second period.
Well, they're trying to rest Pekka Rinne. Would you consider throwing him in, or do you stick with Carter Hutton just to give him some work and give Rinne the rest?
I think I stay with him, but
same.
They don't need the 2 point. I mean, they're still in a race to try and finish first in the West as the Flames go outside, but you got to look bigger picture, I think, if you're Nashville. Flames in control, up 4-1 on the Preds in Music City, USA.
For every Flames hit this season, Jamin donates $100 in the fight against multiple sclerosis. Join the fight versus MS at Jamin.com. And junior hockey fans, don't forget CHL playoff action on Sportsnet 360. The Peterborough Petes and the Oshawa Generals, Big Rig Smith, Hunter Smith, Flame prospect. Game 2 of their series tonight, 5 p.m. Mountain Time on Sportsnet 360.
7:50 left. Second period, Yuri Hudler's goal, 4-1 Calgary. They'll reset and do the face-off over again. Backlund facing off against Mike Fisher, who wins the draw this time, pulls it all the way back. Seth Jones with control. Roman Josi fires it across. In full stride is Arvidsson with a play around behind the net. Wilson on the near side drops it off to Arvidsson. Shot through traffic, and Hiller able to make the save and hang on. Well, on behalf of Safeway and Kellogg Cereal, Jeremy Watson of Cochrane, hometown of Mason Raymond, has won a Garmin VIRB Elite HD action camera.
And what a way to alleviate some of the pressure. The Predators had actually a pretty good shift, and then Yuri Hudler on the breakaway scores to make it 4-1. Let's see if the Predators have a pushback again, or if the Calgary Flames can dominate the second like they have.
Good face-off win for Monahan against Kostad, one of the best in the business. Here's Monahan to center. Top line out again for Calgary. Johnny Gaudreau doesn't have a point yet. He's been on the ice for a couple of Calgary goals, though. Here's Josi back in. Circles the net. Out the other side. Roman Josi doing it all. Gets a shot away into traffic. And the Flames take the puck, and here's Gaudreau. 2-on-1 with Hudler. Johnny Gaudreau down the wing. Gaudreau shoots off the crossbar. He's had chances. And that the best one for Johnny Gaudreau to tie Forsberg for the rookie scoring lead. That close to being 5-1 Calgary.
Love the competition, don't you? I love when players rise to the occasion, and Gaudreau has been extra special this afternoon here in Nashville, and he puts himself in really good shooting position, tries to find his way to the middle of the ice, and rips that off the crossbar. He's been more dangerous than Forsberg so far in this game.
Out of the two, he's definitely had the better game for sure.
But you never know with a guy like Forsberg, with that release that he has. It continues to fool goalies in the National Hockey League.
Off the faceoff, the Predators able to get control, and out they come. Stallberg through center ice. Chips and chases. Plays the puck into the corner for Santorelli. Cycle back to Stallberg, broken up by Brody, and his pass gets through to Joe Colborne. Colborne stops just inside the line. Backhands it deep. Juris gives chase. Mason Raymond in there as well. Josh Juris battling in the corner. Raymond gets the puck free up the boards. Makes a nice move off the wall. Raymond shoots, turned aside by Hutton. Stallberg gets the loose puck and skates it out. Schlemko. Mason Raymond. Bit of room, so he'll wheel out of the zone. Raymond down the wing. Raymond still with the puck. Trying to work it out front. Knocked down on a cross-check, and that'll be a penalty. The first of the game for either team, as Raymond was cross-checked, and the Flames are going on the power play.
Calle Jarnkrok is going to go to the penalty box for 2 minutes. He's chasing down Raymond right here. There's a slash and a cross-check. So he's going to go to the penalty box. There's no question. The official had two options right there. And so Calgary Flames go on the power play.
Up 4-1, first power play of the night. And out comes the Monahan-Gaudreau-Hudler line. Weidman, Russell on the points. Another win by Monahan against Kostad. Russell works it across. Now Johnny Gaudreau feeds it down low to Hudler. Jams it on goal. Rebound. Hudler whacks away, and Hutton down, able to make the save and hang on.
This has been a real effective play for the Calgary Flames with this line on the power play, and it's just put pucks down low. And I love where Yuri Hudler is going to stand above the goal line, makes himself dangerous, and he attacks the net right there. We've seen from that position he can also find Gaudreau or Monahan on the far side. This time Hudler elects to attack the net himself.
Face-off win for the Preds. Fired down the ice by Seth Jones. Hiller leaves the puck for Chris Russell.
That puck bounced just before it got to Hiller.
Drop pass to Gaudreau. Nice play to Weidman. Weidman works it deep for Gaudreau. Back to Weidman in the corner. Behind the net for Gaudreau. Intercepted on a good play by Roman Josi. As Weidman got rocked by Gostad, the Predators able to fire it down the ice.
It's twice now in today's game where Weidman's been hit pretty heavily.
Minute 15 left in the power play. That rush broken up. Gaudreau gets it back. Now he works it in. Gaudreau, backhand pass. Monahan, Hudler band. That had potential. Weidman falls. Out come the Preds shorthanded. Beck gives the puck to Ekholm. Lost control. Has to chase it down in the corner. Flames wind up with it. Chris Russell gives the puck to Dennis Weidman. 45 seconds left in the Yarncroke penalty as the Flames start a change on their power play. Weidman will drop it off to Mason Raymond. And here goes Raymond. With speed down the wing, gets around Franson. Raymond banks it back to the line to Schlemko. TJ Brody. David Schlemko. Schlemko shoots, deflected wide. Backlund to it. And home behind the net. Here's a chance. Stopped by Hutton. Raymond again. Stopped by Hutton. Two good chances for Mason Raymond. Puck played back to the line. Kept in by Schlemko. TJ Brody. Mason Raymond. Back to Brody. Brody. Raymond shoots. Glove save. Hutton, who hangs on with 4 seconds left in the power play.
Dangerous looking power play. Second unit comes out, and they're creating a lot of scoring chances. Juris, of course, quick on the defenseman, finds Mason Raymond in front. And just how dangerous have the Flames been? Goals per game in the month of March. Only the Columbus Blue Jackets are averaging more goals per game in March. That tells you how well they played, and for people that continue to find excuses why they'll go away, already in today's game they scored 4, so they continue to score in this month.
Remember way back early in the season, Brad Treliving wondering publicly where his team's goals were to come from this year, and rightfully so. I think a lot of people had that question. They're the 7th highest scoring team in the league this season.
I know.
Penalty over. Here comes Beck, wheeling behind the Calgary net. Pass back to the line. One-timer by Volchenkov. It's turned aside by Hiller. Bounces around to Ellis. Volchenkov pitching. Hit hard in the corner as he's rocked by Derek Englund. Rivero. Ellis. Shot wide. Ferland. Volchenkov keeps the play in the zone. He's hit by Stajan. Puck comes up the boards. And the Flames get a chance to clear and do. Maybe a little too hard, except Hutton came out of the crease. I think it was going to be icing.
I agree.
Approaching the final 3 minutes of the period. Good work there by Backlund to steal the puck away. Back come the Flames. Boma looking for his second, block it away. Rebound! Shot wide by Boma. Lance Boma having a strong game. Weidman steps into his man. That allows Backlund to keep the play onside. Ellis up the boards. Craig Smith clears the zone as Chris Russell goes back. Gave it away to Ribeiro at the line. Mike Ribeiro. Watched by Russell. Drops it off to Yoshi. Plays it down low. Fed out front by Jones, and that hit a leg. It bounces outside the line. Seth Jones in deep on that play. Trying to set up a chance out front of the goal. Back he comes. Jones. Wilson shot deflects. Never got through. Blocked by Weidman. Wilson stays on the puck. Weidman has to be careful. Not careful enough. Takes a penalty. Delayed call coming up. Roman Yoshi back at the line. Hutton hustles to the bench for the extra skater. Here's Ribeiro. Mike Ribeiro. Waiting. Looking. Fakes. Plays it back. Yoshi shoots into traffic. Glove saved by Hiller. Just got a piece of that one. Wilson gets the rebound. Flames finally touch the puck. And with 2 minutes exactly left in the second period, the Predators going on their first power play. What a stop by Jonas Hiller. His best of the night. 4-1 Calgary.
Happy Goals for Kids is proudly sponsored by Canadian Pacific, and it's 2,700 Railroaders based in Calgary. For every Flames goal this season, the Railway will donate $250 to Kids Sport and the Flames Even Strength program. Keep scoring, Flames. Help CP build stronger kids and stronger communities.
With 2 minutes left in the second period, Dennis Weidman finds himself in the penalty box. 2 minutes for tripping. There's a good hard shift right here by Colin Wilson. Goes hard to the net. Dennis Weidman takes him down, so the Predators go on the power play.
Their first of the game. Scramble face-off. Flames get the puck. Lance Boma's had a strong game. Fires it down the ice.
I'd say for the most part, the Flames are winning all the one-on-one puck battles, hence the 4-1 lead.
French power play 24th in the league. The Flames penalty kill 22nd. Mike Fisher chases. Flames play it up the boards. Yoshi gets the puck, go back to the line. Shot by Franson, stopped by Hiller. What a save by Hiller as he stretched out to make that one, and the rebound is cleared down the ice. Yoshi. Philip Forsberg. pass deflected and chipped back out by Backlund. Hiller's 2 best saves of the game have come in the last minute. Both glove saves. Mike Fisher turning. Pass intercepted. Good work by Juris. Franson. Former Leaf with a pass to Ribeiro. Final minute of play in the period. Mike Ribeiro down the wing. Bank pass to Wilson, who drew the penalty. Turning on the boards, pressured by Juris. Wilson's pass intercepted by Russell. And the puck's cleared back out to center ice. Power play and game clock in sync here, so the penalty will expire at the end of the period. Wilson carries in, trying to do it all by himself. Now they get help. Ribeiro can't take the pass. It bounces right to Stajan, who banks it down the ice.
Can't get set up at all. Predators power play.
20 seconds left. Here goes Seth Jones. That pass picked off by TJ Brody, but they gave it away at the line. Now a weak shot fanned down by Fisher. Almost pulled Hiller, but he goes down and covers up at the top of the crease with 10 seconds left.
Cody Franzen's known for having a big shot from the point, and he just absolutely unloads on that one. What a reactionary save by Hiller. He can't corral the puck. He gets a break there that it doesn't go onto the stick of a Nashville Predator, but 2 big glove saves in a row by Hiller.
Hasn't been tested a lot so far, but those are big stops.
Yeah.
Flames up by 3. Face-off win for Fisher. Franson plays it across, one-timer turned aside. Puck bounces towards the corner. Picked up down low by Beck. Played out front, misses everybody. Penalty over, and so is the period as the puck goes harmlessly down the ice. Good second for Calgary. 40 minutes in the books. Flames 4, Predators 1. Back to the studio with Neil Smith and Corey Hirsch. Once again, here's Leah Hextall.
Welcome back to Nashville. And Broadway Avenue is the Flames enjoying a 4-1 advantage over the Predators after 40 minutes of play. Our summaries are brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago. Roman Josi opened it up, but after that, it's been all Flames. Lance Boma's 15th. Chris Russell gets his 4th. Michael Furlan, his first National Hockey League goal, and Yuri Hudler scores number 28 from Derek Englund for the 4-1 advantage after 40 minutes of play. Mrs. Mike Fisher did show up to the game. There's Carrie Underwood and baby Isaiah enjoying the Predators. I don't know if she's enjoying the Predators and Flames, with the score as it is, but nonetheless, she's here. TELUS Flames hockey returns tomorrow as the Flames will travel to Dallas. They'll take on the Stars 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Sportsnet West. In fact, it's a busy day of hockey on Sportsnet in general. In terms of what's coming up, Tampa Bay Lightning and Canadiens, possible playoff preview, 5:30 Mountain Time on Sportsnet East. NHL regional restrictions apply. A big game for the Flames. They'll be watching this as the Kings are in Chicago to meet the Blackhawks on Sportsnet Ontario at 6:30 Mountain. The Edmonton Oilers in action. They'll take on the Colorado Avalanche, 7 o'clock Mountain Time on Sportsnet 1 and Oilers. NHL regional restrictions apply. And finally, the Vancouver Canucks and St. Louis Blues at 7 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet Pacific. Third period action almost set to come your way. Once again, Rick Ball and Kelly Ruth.
Jonas Hiller with an incredible game so far. Gave up the first goal on the second shot of the game, and then ever since that he's been spectacular, making 18 saves. And so Jonas Hiller has a big part of this 4-1 lead here after 2.
So he hasn't been overly busy, Kelly, but he's made some nice stops and a couple of big glove saves in the second period. For Jonas Hiller and his team with a 4-1 lead going into the third, so it's not totally unfamiliar territory, but we all know the storyline of the Calgary Flames season has been third period comeback, so nice comfortable position to be in a critical game on the road. Third period underway. Jones chases the puck back into his own zone. Johnny Gaudreau in pursuit as Josi drops it off to Jones behind the net. Monahan on the forecheck. Gaudreau steals. Back to Russell at the line. Chris Russell gets a shot towards the goal. Monahan on the rebound, and that's turned aside by Hutton on a bouncing puck that Monahan steered on goal. Josi wheels out of his own zone. Russell up the boards to Lance Boma. Down the wing. Lost the puck and escapes the linesman. Now feeds it in. Taken away by Cody Franson. Here goes Mike Ribeiro. Ribeiro. Drop pass. Smith. Shot off the outside of the post. Ribeiro now. Turning. Throwing it out front. That's broken up on a good defensive play by Backlund. And Boma back the other way with Jones on the opposite wing. Jones turns to the bench. Boma threw it out front. Tipped just wide by Backlund. He gets the puck. Feeds it through to Colborne just off the bench. Joe Colborne turning. Backlund out front. Colborne goes behind the goal. Colborne waiting. Comes out front of the backhand. Loose puck, top of the crease. Colborne shoots off a stick. That goes out of play. Good start to the third.
Good pressure both ends. Chris Russell's just going to throw the puck to the front of the net. It hits Jones, but he can't corral it and goes right to Monahan. And he quickly backhands it on Hutton with the save. And here's the Smith shot that just goes off the outside of the post. Pretty dangerous wrist shot there from Craig Smith. I like the effort after the Colborne line after that also. Big heavy shift.
Flames have really controlled the play of this game. Won most of the puck battles. Much better performance today than we saw a couple of nights ago against a very good Minnesota Wild team who did Calgary a favor last night by beating the LA Kings.
Yeah. Jonathan Quick was pulled in that one after the first period.
So a win today, if the Flames are able to steer this one home, will put them back into third place in the Pacific. Kings will have a game in hand. Icing call on Calgary as Volchenkov goes back. Once again, here's Roger.
All right, Rick, a reminder that Safeway's featured participating product for this afternoon's game is Kellogg's cereal.
Pretty feisty at times in this game here. We're going to see Colborne and Fisher go at it by the Flames bench. Colborne goes in there after, and Fisher takes exception. They went at each other for a few seconds till the icing.
Yossi can't keep the play on side as Juris winds up with a puck at center ice. Pass across, hit a leg, and bounces back into the Calgary zone. Diaz to it. Takes a hit there from Arvidsson as the puck's played around, and Michael Ferland got his first goal in the NHL, works it in. Drew Shore trying to throw it out front, never got it there. Shore back on the puck though. Leaves it in the corner for Ferland. Ferland, Matt Stajan, fourth line's been good for the Calgary Flames in this game. Pass back to Brody, didn't connect, and Engelland has to chase it into his own zone.
It's a common theme now with the Stajan line anchoring the fourth line that they earn their ice time every game.
Stajan gets the puck in. Matt Stajan shot off the wing, blockered over top of the net by Carter Hutton, and the puck goes out of play.
Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
I'm sure we'll see the Flames continue to push pucks forward, get the puck as deep as possible and cycle down low.
Top line up for Calgary. Chris Russell down the boards. Throws a shot on goal. Hutton gloves that and hangs on.
Carter Hutton's been getting better. You know, it wasn't an easy start for him and gave up 4 midway through the second period, but this is good action for him to stay in there. I like the choice Laviolette. Give his backup some work here.
And as importantly, if not more so, Pecorine some rest. Right. Roman Josi cuts behind the net. Josi still with the puck, all the way back to the point. Gabriel Borg plays it down low for Beck. Taylor Beck, Seth Jones, Gostad's in front. Jones got it out front for Bork, and he missed the pass. Yuri Hudler takes it away and clears. Flames start a change. Seth Jones right back in with a bit of room. Drops it off, but he hands it away, and it's a 2-on-1. Here goes Backlund with Boma. Backlund out front for Boma. Pass blocked by Josi. Got down and got a stick in the way. Backlund keeps the play in the zone with a backhand shot just wide of the goal. Lance Boma onto the puck. Michael Backlund now. TJ Brody. Puck deflects to the slot. Beck gets there. He'll retreat behind his net, and drop the puck off as the Predators relieve some pressure and the Flames make some changes. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the third. Shots 26-20 Calgary. Are up 4-1. Mike Santorelli out of the zone. Santorelli over the line, shoots, stopped by Hiller, rebound, never got through. Englund got in the way. Shot by Franson well wide. Santorelli to the puck in the corner. Josh Juris comes in to help out. Up the board for Raymond. Franson pinches. Puck played around to the other side. Ekholm fires it behind the net for Santorelli. Out front of the goal. That's fired wide of the net. Great chance there for Jarnkrok, and he missed. Jarnkrok onto it again. Over to Cody Franson with a shot deflected. And wide of the goal. The pressure by this line, Mike Santorelli. Trying to feed it down low into the corner. Juris steps in the way of that pass. Derek Englund in to help out. Mason Raymond backhands it past Franson and out back to the Nashville zone as Calgary's finally able to make a change.
Jarnkrok line is the one that kind of sparked the Predators for a little bit in the second period, so trying to do the same here in the third.
Craig Smith through center with speed. Gave the puck away to Matt Stajan. This line back out for Calgary. Stajan, Ferland, tips it across to Wideman, but he bobbled the puck. Philip Forsberg ahead to Smith. Craig Smith down the wing. Drop pass Forsberg, and he's checked on a good play by Derek Englund. Flames get the puck, not out. Shot from the line by Ellis. That hit Smith. Played it out front, intercepted by Wideman. And back they come. Matt Stajan, Michael Ferland, 2-on-2. Stajan flips it in. Hutton out of the goal. Plays the puck off the glass right to Yuri Hudler, who shovels it across the top of the crease. Schlemko pinches. Threw it out front. Cut off by Smith. Got it ahead to Ribeiro. Drops it off in his own zone. And Volchenkov plays it ahead. Philip Forsberg at the end of the shift shovels the puck into the Calgary end. Diaz off the boards and out. Yossi, who gave Nashville a 1-0 lead at the 6:17 mark of the first before Calgary scored 4 unanswered. Works the puck out of his own zone. Slides it in. Schlemko off the glass and out over the head of Jones, and it winds up going out of play with 13:56 to go in the third period. Still Flames 4, Predators 1 in Nashville.
Vision and Glass is pleased to be partnering with TJ Brody on his Skate for Strides initiative. TJ has created custom skate guards in support of cystic fibrosis. With every pair sold, TJ and the Flames Foundation for Life will direct $30 to Cystic Fibrosis Canada. Purchase yours today.
All right, thank you, Roger. Well, Kelly, you know how we like to dive into our bag of trivia tidbits every now and then?
You do.
Well,
Don't include me.
Gord Tate has gone deep, deep into the bag of tidbits for this one. Nashville this season, and you see it right there, 4-1 on bobblehead nights.
Wow. Now, how about afternoons, though? Bobblehead afternoons.
On Sundays.
That's the difference.
Yes. Start digging, Gord. Gotta find another one. 4-1 Flames leading this game past the 6-minute mark of the third. Hard around the Calgary zone. Boma trying to clear. Seth Jones stands his ground. Nashville D will activate every chance now. Down by 3. Ribeiro feeds it across to Yossi. Shoots up high, and that goes off the glass. Not a play.
Once again, Bob Hartley found a way to rally the troops, and they were certainly well prepared today. Yesterday was a practice day as well, and they worked a lot on special teams. I know, trying to get David Schlemko involved and make sure that he was aware of everything that they were doing on the power play especially. And Bob yesterday was quite intense, I'll say. I thought in a good way, though, just trying to make sure his players were ready.
Shot off the post, hits Hiller, and then trickles out of the crease. That was close. Another shot with Hiller down, goes high and wide. Predators almost cutting it to a 2-goal lead. Colin Wilson behind the net. Wilson on the half boards, watched by Russell. Russell stays on Wilson. Wideman chases the puck, takes a hard hit in the corner from Mike Fisher. Flames get control though. Johnny Gaudreau was sneaking out of the zone. Now he gets the puck. Here's Gaudreau at center. Johnny Gaudreau making moves over the line. Gaudreau trying to cut around the defenseman Franson, but he took the puck away and cleared the zone. Schlemko to it. Both teams changing as Schlemko wheels out. Fires it around. Ryan Ellis behind the net. For Gabriel Bourque, he's tied up by Schlemko. And the puck winds up going over the glass, not a play.
Nashville wins the face-off in the Flame zone. Fisher cleanly right there, and Ekholm just through traffic throws a puck to the net, hits the post. The second time already the post's been hit in this third period by the Nashville Predators, and both times Hiller gets a lucky break.
And Russell there to clean it up.
That's right. You're allowed some breaks. It's one thing. It's amazing how when you're having a pretty good season, it seems as though for a good stretch, the breaks go your way.
Someone once said, good luck is the residue of hard work.
I would agree that.
Flames have worked hard today. Up 4-1, 12:20 left in the third. Ryan Ellis, long pass through center, tipped in by Paul Gaustad. Schlemko to it, off the glass to the point, kept in by Ellis. Gaustad, big body on the puck in the corner, watched by Josh Juris. Gaustad got it back to the line to Volchenkov. He shoots, and that whistled wide with traffic in front. Ellis pinches, bumped by Schlemko. Bourque picks up the puck. Juris was interfered with. No penalty. Volchenkov with a shot wide of the goal. A pick play behind the net.
You could hear the Flames bench erupt.
Volchenkov back to the line, just out of the reach of Gaustad. He has to regroup at center. Anton Volchenkov feeds it into Beck. Michael Ferland winds up with the puck. Wheels from behind his own net. Here goes Ferland out to center ice. Michael Ferland just flying over the line. Lost the puck as he tried to make his way to the net. Bumped by Yoshi in the corner. Ferland stays on. A nice play to Brody. Shoots, and that's blocked. Bounces off the stick of Anton Stallberg. Flames get the puck towards the goal. Hutton will sweep it aside to Roman Yoshi. Mike Santorelli chops it in. Hiller feeds it off the glass. Drew Shore. Matt Stajan can't take the pass. Icing waved off, though. Seth Jones races back to it. Stajan gets the stick up on Jones. Penalty coming up to Calgary. Hutton heads to the bench for the extra attacker. Delay call on the Flames. Santorelli out of his own end. Now they work it in with Ribeiro. Chips it up the boards. Back to the line to Jones. Jones turning just inside the zone. Knocked off a stick and it clears. Roman Josi retreating. Jones now dropped it off. Josi, he'll bring it out. Through center ice. Josi, Jarnkrok just inside the line. Jones, Ribeiro doesn't shoot. Plays it back to the line. Josi, Seth Jones, Roman Josi. Fans want a shot. Here's Ribeiro. Jones shoots, scores. Predators cut the Calgary lead to 2 midway through the third.
On the forecheck, Matt Stajan was up on Seth Jones, and we're going to see stick get accidentally up. Jones, there's the arm that goes up. There's the penalty call that would have been, but good puck movement by the Predators up high. Josi, Ribeiro, and Jones, and he sneaks in from that point, and what a terrific shot. High short side. Snuck in from his point position, and that is a rocket over the shoulder of Hiller. But very patient Mike Ribeiro on that play. The crowd was yelling for a shot, yet he was going for the look he wanted.
7th of the season for the 20-year-old Seth Jones. Ribeiro and Josi get the helpers. Here's Yuri Hudler at center. Pass deflected, taken away. Ryan Ellis. Matthias Ekholm fires it in. Played up the boards. Ellis keeps the play alive in the offensive zone. Wilson forced back to the line. Behind the net to Smith. Chases the puck on the near boards. Russell will chip it around to the other side where Ekholm gets the puck. Watched by Hudler. Ekholm behind the net for Fisher. Mike Fisher backhand pass picked off by Hudler. He'll bring it out. Yuri Hudler slides it ahead. Ellis quickly up as the Flames start a change. Fisher in with Wilson. Wilson cuts to the high slot. Jones again shoots, and that's blocked by Russell. Jones got it across to the other side. Yuri Hudler trying to angle off the defender. Puck played back to the line and finally chipped out to neutral ice by Juris. Hudler can finally get off the ice. He's out of gas.
More urgency right now by the Predators. It's noticeable.
Seth Jones wheels through center. This building's alive all of a sudden. Jones lost the puck. Flames take it away and is cleared out by Joe Colborne. Josi at his own line. Feeds it across. Here goes Philip Forsberg. Stops. Gave it away. Flames knock it into the zone. It bounces on Hutton. That was awkward. And he knocked it aside as the Predators feed it ahead. Through center ice they come. Ribeiro down the wing. Forsberg with him. So is Bourque. Good work there on an offensive play by the Calgary Flames. Drew Shore. Matt Stajan gets it in. 12 minutes gone in the third. 4-2 Flames. Franson drops it off. Ekholm with speed. Down the wing into the Calgary end. Cuts behind the net. Out the other side. Matthias Ekholm still with the puck. Feeds it back to Cody Franson with a shot, and that's turned aside. Hiller got a piece of that, I believe. Here's Ribeiro on the near boards. Mike Ribeiro back to the line. Got it across to Ekholm. Shot deflected on goal. Steered away by Hiller. And the puck's cleared to the line. Not out. Ribeiro kept it onside. Got it to Santorelli. Santorelli bumped in the corner. As the Predators turn up the heat. Gets it back to Franson through traffic. Hiller makes the save. And he hangs on for a whistle. 7.5 minutes left. Third period. Flames up by 2. Seth Jones bobblehead night as he's got the second one for the Predators.
Shop at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet telecast, and you can win an all-inclusive trip for 2 to a Grand Bahia Principe resort, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner.
Bob Hartley trying to communicate with his players, Kelly. Tough to do. This building is rocking right now.
I would say that's a spirited conversation, reminding the players of their responsibilities and about their structure to play out this remaining 7.5 minutes.
Crowd on its feet in Nashville. Flames up by 2. Shot by Smith goes off. Russell sticking out of play.
Quite the ovation, wasn't it, in that TV timeout?
Early on in the history of this franchise, there were troubles and people wondered about this market. This has turned into a really good hockey
Really
city.
has, absolutely. Quite a few Canadians come down here, too, when you go down Broadway Street. Lots of people come up and chat.
I've had players tell me this can be one of the loudest buildings in the NHL. Philip Forsberg in the corner. Ribeiro comes in to help out. Smith coughed it up. Good work by Russell. Calgary bounce off a stanchion, and Backlund brings it out. Here's David Jones down the wing with a shot up high on Hutton. He makes the save, and he hangs on for a whistle.
Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
That was a good shift by David Jones and his line mates to start to attack again. I think that's one thing. They got a little bit on their heels. Give the Predators credit, though. They were forcing the issue, and they were a very determined group.
Mike Fisher wins a face-off in his own zone. Gaudreau steals down low up front. Delivery shot it wide. Back to the line, Weidman. Monahan, bouncing puck. Flames battle to keep it in, can't do it. Muscled out to center ice by Colin Wilson, but no further. Now Jones will bring it in. Seth Jones off the wing. Pad saved by Hiller. Weidman ties up Wilson in the corner. Wilson stays on the puck. Backhand pass shot by Fisher, blocked by Russell. Who else? And the puck's played off a glove out to center ice. Jones. No Shea Weber for the second straight game, so Seth Jones is playing a ton today. Feed to the head on the left wing. Shot off the board, stopped by Hiller. Weidman gets the rebound at Juris in the corner. Neeson Raymond. Down the wing. Raymond with speed. Puck comes to Juris. Back to the line to Schlemko. Over to Diaz. Diaz shoots off a stick wide. Preds settle it down. Matthias Ekholm slowly out of his own zone. Arvidsson with speed on the wing and a shot blocked. Schlemko that time in front of that shot. Puck cleared the line and out. Ferland trying to catch up after it, but Josi gets there first. Rowan Josi retreats behind the net inside 6 minutes to go in the third. Flames up 4-2. Arvidsson plays it across. Stahlberg in. Couldn't shoot. Through Shore with a good job to take it away. Michael Ferland brings it out. Smart play. Dumps the puck in and heads to the bench in a change. Flames keep the shift short. They've Got to play tomorrow, too. They're in Dallas tomorrow night. 3rd and 4 and back-to-back. Boma breaks up that rush. Ryan Ellis dumps the puck in. Hiller stops that behind the net for Derek Englund. Hard around. Jones keeps it onside. Craig Smith behind the net, trying to get it up front. Cut off by Brody. Good work by Brody, and he'll clear. But they're going to rule this an icing call on Calgary with 4:52 to go in the third.
Team effort today, there's no question. Russell and Schlemko, excellent shot blocks right here. Chris Russell, we've seen it all season long. Perfect positioning on that one, gets in the way, and then his partner David Schlemko right there with another important block. So Calgary Flames doing all they can to protect their goaltender and the 2-goal lead.
Off the draw, Ellis plays the puck up the boards. Boma picks off that pass, and here comes Backlund out of the zone. David Jones over to Lance Boma. Boma scoring in the first, tie the game at 1. Started a run of 4 unanswered Calgary goals before the Predators got their second from Seth Jones here in the third period. Mike Ribeiro out of his own zone. Long pass, right wing. Ellis up on the play with a shot. Russell got a stick in the way of that one. Weidman throws a hit in the corner. Puck bounces to the circle. Put wide of the goal. Monahan lifting the stick of Smith. He kicks it behind the net to Ribeiro. Out front for Forsberg, broken up by Gaudreau, and the puck clears the zone. Seth Jones. Gets around Raymond. Gets around Juris. Turns in the corner. Now he's tied up by Juris. Colin Wilson onto the puck. Back to the line. Arvidsson fanning the shot. Stolen by Colborne. He'll break out with Raymond. Juris on the rush as well. Colborne down the wing. Turns in the corner. Plays the puck to Mason Raymond on the boards. Raymond making moves. Raymond looking out front. Twisting and turning. Bank pass to the line to Brody. Quickly across to Derek Englund with a shot into traffic, and that hit Colborne out front. Colborne winds up with a puck. Good work by this line. Joe Colborne knocked down on the inboards by Ekholm. Puck under Colborne. He's back on his feet. Now it comes to Raymond in the corner. Raymond back to the line to Englund and shoots. Deflected on goal and turned aside by Hutton. Loose puck played up the boards to Colin Wilson. Gets the puck back and fires it in inside 3 minutes to go in the third. Jonas Hiller around the glass. Puck gets to the blue line. Drew Shore there to clear the zone. Back in offside. Fisher has to tag up, and he'll go to the bench to finish off a change. TJ Brody plays it through everybody. They wave off icing. Hutton out of the goal. Plays the puck to the corner, where it's picked up by Cody Franson. In they come over the line. Josi with the puck. Got it to the front of the goal. Backhand by Smith. Stopped by Hiller. Hutton's gone to the bench for the extra attacker. Empty net in the Nashville zone. Flames get it to the line. Not out. Shot by Franson. Hiller makes the save, and he hangs on at the top of the crease. 2:18 left in regulation. Flames 4 and the Predators 2 on Sportsnet. The game review is brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Memory of a lifetime for Michael Furland, his first career NHL goal. Yuri Hudler continues his terrific play in the month of March. And offense by committee, 9 different players with a point in tonight's game for the Flames.
2:18 to go in the third. Flames up 4-2. Good pushback by the Predators in this third period after Seth Jones got their second goal, but the Flames seem to have weathered the storm, although lots of time left on the clock. Empty net in the Nashville zone. 6 skaters for the Predators. Big face-off here for Monahan against Fisher. Monahan wins the draw. Russell plays it around the glass. Josi pinches. Flames flip the puck to the line. Knocked down by Forsberg. Swatted it out of the air, but now the Flames get the puck, and Yuri Hudler clears to Monahan. Loose at center. Chip back in. Dennis Weidman to it. Chris Russell off the boards and out. Roman Josi chases the puck into his own zone. Over to Seth Jones. Back to Josi. Here comes Jones. Fires the puck in. Russell knocked down by Fisher. Shot off the boards by Smith. Misses everybody and goes around and out. With a minute and a half to go, Ribeiro carries back in. Mike Ribeiro back to the line to Jones. Plays it across to Yossi. Yossi. Smith. Shot deflected by Fisher. Hiller got a piece of it. Ribeiro lost the puck. Gaudreau trying to clear. Can't get it out. Mike Ribeiro again. On the boards. Ribeiro passes across to Yossi, who shoots. Hiller with the save. And Monahan gets the rebound. Can't get it over the head of Jones. Back to Ribeiro. Missed the pass. Russell up and around. Jones pinching. Puck gets past him and down the ice. It's icing Calgary. 58 seconds left in regulation time.
Couple of giveaways by the Flames in their own zone. The young players have to get it out. First one is by Johnny Gaudreau, and although we don't have it, trust me, Sean Monahan made a similar play. It's good to have the young players out there, and they've got to learn under these circumstances, but they will make mistakes from time to time. Calgary Flames with the timeout. So those are important learning lessons. Unfortunately, you've got to go through them, and as great as they've been for the Flames in the season, you have to expect from time to time when they have the puck in their stick, they're going to make some mistakes. But one thing we've seen from Bob Hartley all season long, you can make a mistake and he'll give you a chance to redeem himself, but you better do that.
Don't make a couple, right? But you know, we've seen it. Guys will make a blatant error, leads to a goal against. Yeah. It's almost on purpose, put the guy right back out there.
I would agree.
Which is the right way to approach it, because the last thing you need is a guy questioning himself on the bench for 4 shifts where he's sat down.
Grinding away in his head, and then he's terrified next time he goes out there.
Shots dead even in this game at 29 apiece. 58 seconds left in the third. And it's Monahan against Fisher again in the faceoff circle. Mike Fisher's had a good night for the Predators. And Monahan's been sharp on some key draws for the Calgary Flames. This time Fisher wins it. Ribeiro back to Yossi, shoots into traffic. It goes off Weidman wide. Seth Jones puts it behind the net for Craig Smith. Ribeiro on the boards. Pressure. Good work by Monahan to steal the puck. Puck cleared the zone, and now it's off the glove of Forsberg, and it's an offside call as he touched it inside the blue line with 41.4 seconds to go. Let's find out what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Martine.
We'll update you on all of the playoff races around the NHL, plus the Final Four is now set in the NCAA. All the highlights on the way.
Off the draw, Lance Boma chips the puck up the boards. Jones able to take it away. Yossi got it in, not deep. Flames break it up. And here's Boma with an empty net for his second. He scores! Lance Boma, 2 goals, 5-2 Calgary with 29.8 seconds to go.
A lot of players came to play this afternoon for the Flames. No passengers. This is a terrific team game. Lance Boma puts himself in perfect position for the easy empty net goal, and he scores 2 goals this afternoon in what looks to be a 5-2 Flames victory here in Nashville.
Next score into a winner, courtesy of Safeway and Kellogg Cereal, is Laura Moore of Calgary's won the Bullaba Marine Star watch. So Boma gets his 16th of the season. And who saw that coming out of Lance Boma? We all know what a great worker he is, but 16 goals. Wow, what a year. So it's just a formality now, and the Calgary Flames are about to move back into a playoff spot with an outstanding effort against a very good Nashville Predators team. 10 seconds to go. As Ekholm skates the puck over the line, then turns back. Final seconds tick off the clock. And the Flames with a massive win in Game 2 of this 5-game road trip. They fall behind early and then control from then on as they knock off the Predators 5-2 in Music City.